School is the most important thing in your life. And while I hate school, I got a PhD. And I hate school. I hate everything about it. So somebody say, E, if you hate school so much, why you get a PhD? Because I hate school, but I love options. You can have average skill, but you can't have average will. You can't have average will. Like your will has to be phenomenal. You have to see basketball as the gateway. It's like a passport. Basketball is just your way to get in, and then once you get in, boom, then you dominate. So I'm telling you, you're not taking a test because they're giving you the test. You're taking a test that's about to change your life, your mama's life. And I know if you take the test serious, you'll kill it. When you go through your go-through, your siblings are watching you. When you go through your go-through, your friends are watching you. When you go through your go-through, your parents are watching you. And people will use your strength to get through their stuff.
Yo, what up? It's your boy, E.T. Welcome to another edition of Free Summer School. That's right. Knowledge is the new money. Get you some. You feel me? I'm being 100 with y'all. Like, when I didn't take school serious, I was $3.35 an hour. That's minimum wage back in the day at McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's. I worked at them all, right? But when I started getting knowledge, I remember when I first started speaking for a living, I was making about $1,500, $5,000, $10,000. Now I'm asking for $75,000. Knowledge is new money, y'all. I'm just being real. My 4-year degree, I got a little bread. My master's, once I got the PhD, with each new knowledge, I got a new paycheck. I'm just trying to tell you, I hate school. I hate it. But let me be real with you. Sometimes you got to do what you hate to do so you can live like you want to live. You heard what I said? Yup. 4-year degree, hated it. Master's degree, hated it. PhD, hated it. Right? But all of them, guess what they all did? More money, more money, more money. They put me in a position to make more money. So you can hate it and do it for 10, 12 years and then live the way you want to, or you could not take school serious and end up having to answer to somebody else the rest of your life, or not, you know what I'm saying? Not like living the way you want to live. Like, I'm just being real with you. My wife's 50th birthday party, I just booked her, 6-star hotel with a presidential suite, right? Then I'm taking her to Hawaii for about 3 weeks. Then we're going back to I'm just saying, like, I hate school, but I did it. And I'm so grateful for it. I'm talking about so grateful for it. And I ain't mad at the people that didn't do it. I know why they didn't do it. I'm talking stupid, boring. It's just a lot. So I feel them. I ain't mad at them. But I'm trying to tell you, I do it. Now, what I want to talk about today is like, really your friends. How many of us have them? Friends, the ones we can. I just saw Snoop Doggy Dogg with the commercial that he does. There was talking friends, like for real. How many of y'all have it? I want to say this to you. I don't even have to know you. I can meet your top 3 to 4 friends and tell you everything about your life. All right? I'm being real. So you look at LeBron. Remember LeBron wasn't winning no championships? Bron was killing it. I'm talking about Bron was killing the game. One of the best that ever do it. Bron was murder. And the reason why there's a debate, I really feel like my heart of hearts, even though, I grew up in the Jordan era, I'm just going to be real. Jordan probably, if he wouldn't have retired, would have won 8. But if Bron hadn't left Miami, he probably had 8 right now, just keeping it 100. But when Bron wasn't winning, it wasn't because of Bron. Bron wasn't winning because of the people that were around him. And I'm not dogging nobody out. I ain't no basketball player. I can't hold war to them boys. But I still know that when Bron went to Miami, he was with Wade. When Bron went to Miami and he was with Bosh, he was killing the game. Bron last year with AD. What Bron was with the right Cleveland Cavaliers, Kyrie Irving, right, Love. Like, my man won championships. So the reality is you can only do so much by yourself, right? But if you're a winner and you around winners, KD, Kyrie, Harden, Blake. I mean, you could go on and on. Like, they murdering the game right now. Why? Because you got 3, 4 people that can put up at any time. You feel me? So I'm saying to you, all right, we went to middle school together, elementary school together, high school together, we went to college together. Bro, that stuff is over with. Like, stop picking people geographically. I'm just being real. Stop picking people because they from your neighborhood. Stop picking people because they went to the same school you went to. Like, what are your goals? What are your dreams? hang out with those people. When Braun was with Miami, he's like, we're going to win 4, 5, 6, 7. And he could have done, he left. He stayed, I promise you. He had did what, 2 out of 4? Come on, they was on a roll, y'all. So it's not just about you working hard. It's not just about you being great. It's not just about you giving 120. It's about the people you running with. And I know a lot of you, the reason why you run with the people you run with, even though you know you need a new circle of influence, like you know you need to hang out with a different group in order, you want some loyalty stuff. Let it go. Be loyal to yourself. Just being real. Be loyal to yourself. Be loyal to you first. It doesn't mean you can't be loyal to others, but you need to be loyal to yourself first. Like there was a time in my life where I wasn't as beneficial for my wife as I am now. Just being real, I was a high school dropout. I didn't have a GED at that time. I don't have nowhere to stay. You know, I'm working at McDonald's on Finkel and Wild. I was just, come on, y'all. My girl was like handling school, knew what her dreams and goals were. She was accepted into college, finished high school. I wasn't, are you hearing? Took me 12 years to get 40 degree. I wasn't really making that kind of bread. I was working at the Olive Garden. I had a job, not a career, right? But now we killing the game. Why? Because my wife is a beast. Always has been academically. Always had taken care of business. But she got to drag me. She was carrying me. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Like I'm a grown man. She carrying me around. Why? Because I'm not handling my business. But now it's a different story. Now that I'm number one at what I do, and she killing the game at what she does, we're able to accomplish more. All right, I want to read this to y'all. This is deep. All right, look at this quote real quick. All right, I'm going to read it to you. Look at this quote. Never apologize, ever. Never apologize for living high standards. You got dreams, you got goals. Don't do that. Don't feel bad because the people in your circle of influence, the people that you know you running with, they don't got no dreams and goals, and you feel like, well, I don't want nobody to think I'm all of that. I don't want nobody to think, you know, I'm a goody two shoe. I don't want nobody to think I'm better. No, you're not better than nobody, but you're better off. I'm not better than nobody because I got a PhD, but I'm better off. I'm not better than anybody because, you know, I know what my career is, but I'm better off than a person who don't have a career. I'm not better than. I'm not a better human. I'm not a better father. You feel me? I'm not a better person, but I'm better off because financially there are things that I can do. Why? Because I decided to go ahead and get those high academic standards. So we're not better than. We're better off. Don't ever forget that. People who really, come on, y'all, want to be in your life will rise up to meet your high standards. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So do me a huge favor. Do an inventory for me. Who you hanging out with this summer? Who you calling friend? What are y'all doing? What's y'all dreams and goals? Look, I ain't tripping at y'all playing video games, but is that all y'all doing? I ain't tripping at y'all, you know what I'm saying, bringing the top back, you know what I'm saying, or taking the top off, depending on what you got, or rolling the windows down, or bumping the sounds and bouncing in the neighborhood, going to the basketball game, going to the football. You know what I'm saying? Going to the movies, you know, taking a little vacation, like going out to eat. Like, I ain't tripping. Like, I going to the mall, getting fresh. Ain't nobody fresh. Like, why? Because I'm so fresh and so clean. Like, I ain't mad. But if that's all y'all doing, if y'all ain't legally chasing that paper, if y'all ain't legally chasing your dreams and goals, if y'all ain't legally, like, you trying to make it to the league, if y'all ain't running together, hitting those weights together, hitting those smoothies together, if y'all ain't got going to college, y'all ain't got y'all playing together, stacking y'all dough together. So when you get to college, you feel me? Like, what kind of friend is that if all y'all doing is entertainment? If all y'all doing is getting in trouble, you know, and I don't mean like go to jail trouble. You know what I mean? Just being mischievous kind of trouble. If that's all y'all doing is on those controllers all day, come on, man. What kind of friend is that? I want a friend that, yeah, we're going to be able to talk about high school. We're going to talk about college, but we're going to talk about it from a yacht, or we're going to talk about it, you know, from a cruise where we're on a cruise ship for 10, 15 days. We're going to talk about it on our private jet, or we're going to talk about it in first class, or we're going to talk about it, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. We're going to talk about it when we blow up. We living in a gated community. When we, you know what I'm saying, living swimming pool, like we doing it big. All right. So friends, like real friends. How many of us have them? Friends, the ones we can depend on to help us to get from where we are to where we're going. Hey, once again, it's your boy ET. Do an inventory of your friends. All right. Do an inventory of yourself Surround yourself with positive people. Surround yourself with people with goals, dreams. Surround yourself with people who trying to do something, right? Because here's the reality. You hang with 9 broke people, my mom used to say, you're going to be the 10th. Why? Because if you got money and you hanging with 9 broke people, they're going to be, oh, can you give me the number 10? Can you give me the number 9? You got to carry them. You got to baby them. You got to take care of them wherever y'all go. Or if they broke and you broke, then how anybody else going to get any money? So it don't matter if you got money or you broke. You hanging around 9 broke people, you bound to be the 10th. But imagine you hanging around 9 wealthy people, successful people, people who got dreams and goals. You probably going to be the 10th. Hey, it's your boy E.T. Small steps, great distances. Now you know. Let's go. Hey, my friends are next. Make sure you stay locked in, stay tuned in. We got something powerful for you.
Welcome to Free Summer School. Knowledge is the new money. Eric Thomas. Free Summer School. Y'all see it on YouTube and share it. Share it to a friend. Yeah. Parents, if you're watching this, please share it to other parent friends and groups that you're seeing like, hey, maybe my kids is getting something out of this. My kids are actually watching this and they're getting something out of it. I'm saying for me, I'm speaking for myself. So please, E.T. the hip hop preacher, Eric Thomas and friends, we are here. E.T., today we're talking about friend standards.
How many of us have them? Yes. Friends.
The company you keep, E.
Yes.
Yes.
How important is that?
Man, let me just say this, and I know my boys are probably watching, and they like, E, you snitch, you rat. But let me say this. I had no plans on dropping out of high school, so I started hanging out with my boys who dropped out of high school. Just bottom line, bro. I was never on I'm about to drop out of school. I was never on that. But my boys, no disrespect, but, they were street pharmacists, right? So they had the fresh rides, the fresh gear. Yeah. They would pick me up in the whip. And every time they picked me up from school, they'd be like, E, why are you still going to school? Right? They really did have a point. They was like, your grades, you ain't even doing nothing. I'm like, yeah, you're right. But week after week after week of hearing, why you keep going to school? And then I'm telling my age, Q, you might not even be old enough to remember this, but before there was, Big Tigger in the basement and BET, whatever, it was the box. Yeah. It was the box.
Oh, music television you control.
Yeah. The box, baby. And we paid for our own videos. They weren't free. And so we would be watching the videos during the day where everybody else was in school. And eventually my boys wore me down. You know what I'm saying? And I ended up dropping out. Now, and no disrespect, but now I hang out with a different group of people. And as a result, they made me the #1 motivational speaker in the world. They made me a multimillionaire. They put me in a situation where I can own homes and different. So I'm not disrespecting my boys from back in the day. I'm just saying you literally are the people that you run with, bro. Yes. You literally are.
Let's go to Fatah. Fatah, what do you think about this friend standard, the company you keep? How important is it?
This is a good question because as E was talking, I was just reflecting back to my high school days, as far as the way that I grew up. And what happened was my father took us out of the neighborhood because we stayed in the neighborhood. And so my father took us out from that setting and went and found a school system that was a little bit better because he wanted us to be surrounded by kids that were talking about college, scholarships, all these different things. Now, I'm probably going to give away my age here in a bit, but my sister graduated in '98. And when she graduated, of the Polynesians, the Tongans that graduate, there were supposed to be 15 of them that graduated. Only 2 of them did. That was my sister and this other guy, I won't say his name, but they were the only 2 that also went on and graduated from college. Now, the reason why I say all this, because it's right now in the area that I grew up in, a lot of those cats that didn't graduate, they had kids at a very, very young age. You know what I mean? So it was like I never knew anything about scholarships. I really didn't understand the purpose of college. That was just all foreign for me. But until I was surrounded by kids that were like, oh yeah, well, I'm going to apply for this scholarship. I'm going to apply for, oh, what school are you planning to go to? Just being able to have those kind of conversations, I was like, what is this? But then when you actually go to graduation parties or you go to events of where like they show you what that looks like, you get to see, oh, their family members became doctors, or their family members became, and probably not even that. They went and did school, but maybe they didn't finish, but they figured out what their niche was while they were in school. You know what I mean? So I say all of that because it's so important to have the right friends, the right influence. My 13-year-old right now, I have a feeling that he has a little girlfriend, but you might need to tell, you might need to
have them.
but I do see how it challenges his principles as far as like what he learns at home.
Yeah.
It challenges, some of the different things that we do at home. It really challenges him whether he's going to stand up for the right thing or if he's going to just go along with it just because it sounds good. So, as a mom, I be keeping my kids in check. I promise you, like I got to make sure that when they go out, that they're suited up in the armor of God, that they're just ready. You know what I mean? That they're just ready to take on what the other friends have to offer.
Yeah. Oh, you anoint their head with oil, huh?
That part. The kids walk around grease dripping down their face. That's right. Is
that cocoa butter?
Candace, they're gonna be crazy all day. Candace, talk to us. What does the importance of your friend circle mean for you now, and I mean just for everyone that's watching?
Yeah, no, I think I like the fact that you said that Q is what does it mean for me, now, and as I think about what Fatai said and what E said, but the word that kind of came to me when I was thinking about this was collateral damage and collateral benefits.
Yeah.
So when you hang around, so collateral damage, just really quickly, is when something that you didn't intend to happen. So you're hanging out, it's cool, but there's something that happens on the side. So when I just think about my friend, we don't have to make this deep of only hang out or be friends with someone who's doing XYZ, but you have to take a moment and look at the collateral damage and the collateral benefits. So like what he said that he didn't have any plans on not graduating from college. I mean, not graduating from high school or dropping out. That wasn't a plan, but it was part of the collateral damage of hanging out with a certain friend group. So what I want to say is I just kind of want to think about the collateral benefits. And I know for me, when I was in college, not saying, oh, I'm strategically trying to find out friends, but just because I was friends with certain people, there was some collateral benefits of like, oh, go internship here. Oh, go look here. And I just end up getting jobs, getting internships, being able to have certain opportunities because of my friend group. So that's the kind of the thing that came to me is like, think about the collateral damage. You don't have to get too deep, but if you have a certain friend where you say, well, I'm not intending for these things to happen, but these negative things keep happening on the side, we might need to reevaluate that friend and just put some boundaries around them potentially. And I would just say, finally, when it comes to friend standard is what's your standard? So I'm not even talking about who you're like, what your friends are going to do, but what are your standards as your own person? What do you believe who you are? And then as you become that person, you're going to attract a certain type of people, attract a certain type of energy. And you don't have to say, oh, these are my standards. You got to get away. They'll just naturally drift away from you because you guys aren't the same anymore. So that's what that's what I think about friend standards.
Hey, Q, Candace, speak to that though real quick, because everybody like, man, how I get rid of, you know what I'm saying? Like how I get rid of negative people. I got all these negative people in my city, on my block. Speak to that, what you just said, Candace. Like, yo, by the way you behave. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, if you're around a negative person, it's because you're negative. You like it. So don't judge them and say, oh, you're being negative. Why do they feel comfortable bringing it up to you? It's a certain energy that you're accepting. So I don't want to make this deep, but you have to make an adjustment on your end. Stop pointing the fingers. Let's make the adjustment. Okay. Yep. I like being a little negative. I like gossiping a little bit to make me feel good. It's all good, but don't then be mad when that's your circle when you look up. So I would say is if that's your complaint, man, it's a lot of negativity around me, then, and you're really trying to get better and you don't understand why, you might just need to go to a hidden season where you're kind of isolated from people for a while. You're focusing on yourself. You're really pouring into yourself. Then you can come back out with the restart like we talked about in the last podcast. But that's it is reevaluate yourself first. And then you might have to just kind of fall back and then come back out with the new birth.
Them offer payments.
That's Kurt Franklin, the rebirth.
Please. It's so I want y'all to go back, really unpack what Kay just said. Like it was a lot there. I'm like, let let's just keep it moving. Tiffany Haynes, please talk to us.
Yeah.
What is friend circle? What does it mean for you? Standard of friends, what does that mean to you?
I think what I had to learn at probably a young age is you can't have an arrogant attitude that you can be around somebody that don't share the same core values as you and it not jump on you in some way. Like it's a very arrogant attitude. I remember the first time I learned, they say, what's the largest organ in your body? And it's your skin, right? It's like unassuming. It's something that's constantly exposed to the elements.
Wow.
And I think that's how you have to think about your circle of friends. It's something that's constantly exposing you to something. And no matter how you try to put a wall around what you feel like your core values are, because there's friends that you have right now that don't share your core values. You know it. And in your mind, you feel like, well, I know who I am and I can hang around them and it's not going to compromise who I am on the inside. And it will. And it's just like Candace said, it's collateral damage. It's not something that you intend to happen. It comes by osmosis. It doesn't hit you like a brick wall. It could be a mist of compromise that starts to hit on you, and it'll start to show fruit.
Yeah,
it'll start to show fruit. So,
that mist will get your clothes wet too, though.
That's right.
It'll will do them. That's right.
Will mess your shoes up. Don't compromise. My thing is don't compromise. I know that the network of friends that I'm around right now have transformed the way I do things. I mean, Jamal King, he knows I just set up my trust, something I would have never done, invested in real estate from my relationship with him and Terica. And I mean, Rochelle, who's transformed the things that I eat and my health.
About Rochelle, Lord.
Please grow out of this.
Lord.
But I'm just saying, these are friends that have influenced me, that have me being exposed to them have influenced me. And just because I can focus on the positive, the collateral benefits of being friends with them, there are some friends that I've had growing up in high school, college that had some collateral damage that didn't always was quick to reverse. So please just don't be arrogant. Keep your wall up, keep your standards high, and don't compromise.
Yeah. Charles Terry Jr. You say what, sir?
Listen, y'all have me over here. I had to jot down a couple of notes because Candace got me fired up. So I was doing a little side typing over here. So, Candace, when she mentioned a minute ago, you were saying you can't hang out with negative people and live a positive life. Yeah. That's not realistic. But when you look at the situation and you actually consider your friend circle or your standard of friends, just know that you cannot change the people that are around you, but you can change who you choose to be around off top. Now, me personally, I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. I'd rather have the 4 quarters to make up my friend circle than have 100 pennies to make up a whole bunch of people that's talking about nothing, because energies and attitudes, those do naturally rub off. Because if you got the negative Nancy, you're going to tend to be negative, or you're not going to share your good things that are happening, and you're going to feel some type of way because you can't share what's going on good. It's going to rot you at the root either way. So just be very picky about who you choose to be around, and let those that get mad be mad. Let them sit from the peanut.
Be mad.
Let them be mad. Be mad. Because at the end of the day, they'll be buying tickets to whatever you got going on, because they would have gotten left behind, and you will be further, advanced than what they got, and they'll be trying to play catch up. What you do? Okay, you can buy my course. I can teach you what I did later on, because you missed the train and you didn't get to ride.
Wow, that's right. I first of all, all of y'all said so much that like my response is a little jumbled is because of y'all. I'm blaming Tiffany, Candace, Ty, Charles. Like, it was so much that you guys have to really unpack in what they said. And for me, I know a lot of you, like, I grew up, like, Kendrick Lamar had this album and it was called Good Kid, Mad City, right? And he was a good kid, but his environment didn't reflect who he was. So what that meant was he had to kind of like separate himself from all of these people that he grew up with, right? And I was in that same situation, where I grew up, I was the only one who had, you know, like my dad was like really on me. My friends, they were able to stay out. Like street lights came on, I had to come in the house.
Right.
You know, right? My friend, like this is way before y'all time. Y'all don't even go outside no more. But right, it was like it was a time where
put them out.
All of my friends were doing crazy things. They're still in cars. They're doing all that stuff. And I'm like, you know what? I got to go the other way. And it was very difficult for me because the environment I was around was like, oh, you just a sucker. Oh, you just listen to your dad. Oh, you whatever. And it was really hard for me because I was going against what everyone else was doing. Right. My friends, fast forward in life, you know, what I had to do was I had to separate myself and I had to get around people that weren't stealing cars, that weren't selling drugs, right? So that became my environment. I had to go 10 minutes up the road to hang with some other people I went to high school with and separate myself from these people. But me hanging with them, the conversations were different, right? It wasn't about, oh, you know, I'm tough. I'm this big bad person. It was, hey, what colleges are you going to? Hey, what's the college application? So all of these friends were doing things that were going to benefit my future, and that became my life. I will say this: I had a call yesterday. You know, a lot of people they want to have jobs. I hang around friends who are entrepreneurs. They work for themselves, right? So when I call Carl, right, and he's talking about his business, and I call CJ, and he's flying around, he's doing things with Toby and everybody else, and then I talk to ET, this becomes my friend circle. Like, they're entrepreneurs. I call Jamal entrepreneurs. One of my friends called me because I recently left my job, and they were like, yo, how'd you do it? Like, how are you making it happen? Like, what's going on? I'm like, for me, it's just normal because I hang around people who are entrepreneurs. You need to hang around people that are going to serve your future or the things you want to get into.
Right.
Candace said something about college. Man, I went to college. It was this one class I hated. I took it 2 times. I dropped out of the class 2 times. I said, hold on, something is going on. I'm not getting this information. The 3rd time I took the class, I saw the people that were taking the notes that were raising their hand. I said, yo, I need y'all. Like, how are y'all getting this?
How much it costs to hang out with y'all?
Right? So I started hanging around these people that understood the information, and they broke down the information to me in a way where I got it. The 3rd time I took the class, I was like, duh, this is how you do it. Get around people that understand this information that you don't understand. It just, your life becomes who you are around. I don't care if you're 15. I don't care if you're 25. I don't care if you're 40 years old. This is a lesson that you guys are going to have to stay and keep with you your entire life. Whoever you're around is going to be who you become. I hang around entrepreneurs. Guess what? I'm an entrepreneur. I hang around people that love being married. Guess what? I'm in a loving marriage. Like, it's just those things you're around. You can't have that one friend that's like, oh, you know what? They're negative, but it's cool. Like Tiffany said, the mist will get on you. We drink Sierra Mist. We don't want mist on us. So I'm just saying, this is a lifelong lesson that you really have to implement throughout your entire life. Whatever you want to get in, you want to lose weight, hang around people who work out. It's just, this is the kind of life you have to, this principle right here is very, very important. This is an ageless. Parents, you need to see this. Students, you need to watch this.
Right. Because parents telling kids to do it, and the kids looking at the people they hanging around.
Yeah.
They're like, you telling me to, so that's big. Hey, and for the record, Rochelle, me and Tiff don't drink Sierra Mist. For the record.
Me neither.
We don't touch it.
Never bought
That's cute saying that. That's not us. We don't do that.
Topo Chico mineral water.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's a splurge.
Water. That's it.
That's a treat.
I'm about to get us in trouble, Q.
I'm sorry.
That up right now.
I urge y'all to watch this again. Please watch this. This was very packed. E, please take it away, sir.
Hey, that's it. Remember, small steps, great distances. Now you know. Let's go.